Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the start of Food and Beverage Week for us. So just like in the rooms division, I put up a typical organization chart for a hotel food and beverage operation. Please note that also in larger hotels or smaller hotels, this is going to vary, but we'll go through some of the different positions. In some places, they have a food and beverage director. In other places, they might just have one operational director that oversees both food and beverage and room operations. Within food and beverage, and then again, depending on the scope, if the hotel does serve a full food and beverage operation, it'll have a culinary leader, executive chef, with then some positions underneath. I want to highlight the chief steward because a lot of times people don't realize or know what this position is. The chief steward handles all of the dish machines and the cleaning and the sanitizing of dishware, flatware, glassware, the inventorying of it, making sure that there's enough polishing and pulling it for specific needs in any of the areas that are serving food and beverage. Event operations and event planning in the middle there go hand in hand. If the hotel that we're talking about has meeting or function space, they'll have these teams that will event planning, will be planning and providing details on what the customer is looking for, and then turn it over to the operations team who will set the rooms and then plan the service accordingly. So setting up the rooms with the tables and the chairs, and then the banquet servers if it's serving food and beverage in those rooms. And then finally, at the very end, we have a restaurant, food and beverage outlet, management position, and the food and beverage outlets are going to vary in hotels based on size and truly what the hotel needs. It could have room service, very interesting. Room service, as we talked about in one of our discussions last week, is an area that some hotels are going away from, other hotels are maintaining. I can tell you that the hotel I'm at right now does not have room service or any form of in-room dining, but the previous two did, and one of those hotels is about a mile away, so it doesn't necessarily depend on the city. It depends on what type of clientele and what your guests are truly looking for. They could also have a separate bar and coffee shop. Sometimes those are interwoven into the food and beverage offering to make it a more streamlined operation to manage and for guests to be able to get what they need. So that is a little bit of an overview of that organization structure that you might see. With regards to specifics on what tasks are done by these positions, it's mainly going to be running the day-to-day operation in each of those different areas, understanding what business is expected for the day, for the week, for the month, so that they can plan accordingly, providing schedules, and directing the tasks of employees based on what the customers are needing. I'll say that one of the bigger probably staffs on this particular chart is going to be in the culinary department here on the far left, because they're going to be producing all of the food that's served in these meeting areas, as well as any of these food and beverage outlets. So that tends to be some of the bigger areas where they're staffing. And I highlight that because labor is the most expensive metric in any of these organizations that we're talking about. So I really hope that you enjoy some of the videos that I've selected for you to take a look at food and beverage service. One in particular is of a college group that is demonstrating service techniques. And a little bit of also what not to do, right? I like to point out in a humorous way some of the things that we would not expect in a food and beverage environment. And I'll have a video next to talk a little bit more about the math component of it, the financial side of food cost. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great week ahead.